Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Mucky Duck, Houston, Texas. Hello, everybody on the live stream out there in internet world. Good to have you on board as well. My name is MaryGauthierSongs. This is Jaimee Harris. And we are going to do a little bit of book reading tonight and music playing. I am here because I have written and released my first book. Hey, thank you for having it. It is called Saved by a Song, The Art and Healing Power of Songwriting. So it's part memoir and part my take on songwriting. And they summed up my take on songwriting on the back of the book. The publisher is real smart, so they put it in big red letters. The redemptive power of song. I think music can do a lot of things in addition to being entertaining. And so we're going to explore some of those things and possibilities tonight here at the Duck. Well, the grasses are swaying, sun's going down, music's playing. You're weaving through town, pulling into the driveway. Toss it and park. Stare out of the windshield, out into the world. It was all for the love of a reckless girl who left you with a second place smile and a broken heart. And the street lights are starting to flicker to life. They glow for a minute, then they get bright. Fireflies light up, circle and spark. There's nothing really that you can do. Put your hands in your pocket, try to get through the distance between the daylight and the dark. And the front porch flags lie themselves down like forgotten soldiers or old wedding gowns in closets unopened and graves without any marks. As the night curtains lower, behind the rooftops, shadows dance. Across the sidewalks, ricochet off of the houses like pieces of art. And your mind is reeling as the sky is changing all your feeling. You're rearranging the rest of your life like lines on an old sailor's chart. So you climb back in, fire the ignition, Put your hands on the wheel, head into the distance between the daylight and the dark. Highway 90 westbound in the falling dark, rolling through cornfields, catfish farms and swamps, a Pascagoula sunset, a longing breaking through. I don't know why I'm always leaving. I don't know why I left you. Won't you meet me in the meadow? We can look up at the stars, lean into the wind, dream again, find out who we are. Won't you meet me in the meadow? No more alone. We could lay down in the grass till the feelings pass, then go home. So much to tell you. I am ready to come clean. I'm so tired of running from things I cannot leave. You and me in Mississippi, battle the beautiful and scarred, in need of forgiveness and the grace of God. Won't you meet me in the meadow? We can look up at the stars, lean into the wind, dream again, find out who we are. Won't you meet me in the meadow? No more alone. We could lay down in the grass till the feelings pass, then go home. blanket in the grass till the feelings pass, then go home. Thank y'all. Well, he'd get home at 5:30, fix his drink and sit down in his chair. Pick a fight with mama, complain about us kids getting in his hair. At night he'd sit alone and smoke. I'd see his frown behind his lighter's flame. Now that same frown's in my mirror. I got my daddy's blood inside my veins. Fish swim, birds fly, daddies yell, mamas cry, old men sit and think. I drink. Chicken TV dinner, 6 minutes on defrost and 3 on high. Beer to wash it down with another, then some whiskey on the side. It ain't so bad alone here. It don't bother me that every night's the same. I don't need another lover hanging round trying to make me change. Fish swim, birds fly, lovers leave by and by. Old men sit and think. I know what I am, but I don't give a damn. Fish swim, birds fly, daddies yell, mamas cry. And think. I drink. Stumbling past your house, baby, at the break of day. I thought I saw your silhouette dance against the shade. I went down to the mission. I called and called your name, till an angel with a face like yours came down and let me in. Thought I saw your reflection in a cigarette machine, in a bottle, in a gutter, in a window on the street, in a storefront, in a picture on an old broken TV. I swear it was you staring back at me, and I heard soldiers' voices. There were junkies lying on the ground. They made me look away. I spilled you on a mirror. I chopped you into lines. Over some old kitchen sink, I tried to make you die. Thought I saw your reflection in a cigarette machine, in a bottle, in a gutter, in a window on the street, in a storefront, in a picture on an old broken TV. I swear it was you staring back at me. Broken mirrors, dog-eared things I read, worn out movie stars and faded limousines. I struggle through my old charades, coffee cups and clowns. I can't keep up with parades, no, I keep falling down. Thought I saw your reflection in a cigarette machine, in a bottle, in a gutter, in a window on the street, in a storefront, in a picture on an old broken TV. I swear it was you staring back at me, in a storefront, in a picture on an old broken TV. I swear it was you staring back at me. Oh, thank y'all. Nice picking, Jaimee. Believe it or not, she learned to lead guitar during the pandemic. She never played lead before we got shut down. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to play a lot of notes. You just have to play the right notes.
That's what Willie Nelson taught me. Yeah.
A lot of people who play too many notes get away from the emotion that they're trying to express by showing you how good they are at a lot of notes. I don't like too many notes unless it's called for emotionally. With drummers or guitar players or bass players, I just want y'all to feel this shit, all right? So let me read something to you. The first year I lived in Nashville, I was invited to a party at music photographer Jim McGuire's house. It became a song circle with Guy Clark, Lyle Lovett, John Hyatt, Joe Ely, Steve Earle, and Nancy Griffith. It was a wonderful night, and I was on the edge of my seat, desperately wanting to go from being in the audience to swapping songs with that group of legends. I knew I was in deep waters. I was the new kid in town, but oh, how I longed to sit in that circle. I'd deeply admired everyone in it for years. As the music was winding down, Nancy looked over and asked, "Mary, would you play us a song?" I knew her because I'd opened a string of shows for her a couple of months prior. I was absolutely thrilled when she invited me to play. I sat in the chair she offered. I took her guitar into my hands, and I played Our Lady of the Shooting Stars, a song I had written. The other songwriters closed their eyes and nodded as I played. Some smiled. No wild applause or pyrotechnics when the song ended, but the smiles and nods made me feel like maybe I belonged. I still had a long way to go, but joining that circle was validation for me that moving to Nashville had been a good decision. Holding my own in that circle of songwriters whose records I owned and whose careers I followed gave me confidence. Being around songwriters I deeply admired humanized them, and it made the star I was reaching for feel less distant. When I was done, I handed Nancy Griffith her guitar back. She shook her head and said, "You keep it." I froze, holding her engraved signature Sunburst Taylor 612 cutaway guitar in midair. Question marks in both of my eyes. "It's yours," she said. When I moved to Nashville, Harlan Howard gave me his guitar. "I'm giving you mine." I was speechless, but I somehow found the courage to say, "Will you sign it?" And she did. She signed, "For Mary, because you will sing." I found out later it's an old Nashville tradition to pass on a guitar. It's an attempt to stay on the good side of the muse and the mystery. Some songwriters believe it is one way to keep songs flowing. Harlan Howard gave Nancy one of his guitars because he felt there were no more songs left in it for him, but there might be some inside there for her. Nancy had done the same for me. Welcome to Nashville, kid. Remember to stay on the good side of mystery and paradox. They are your wheelhouse now. So it's not fiction. That actually happened. And I have her guitar in my office right now in Nashville, up in my writing room. And the 12th fret has NCG on it in mother of pearl, Nancy Claire Griffith. And it's still signed in the indentation in the cutaway. And it's a treasured possession. And Jaimee plays it sometimes. And we still can't quite believe. I don't know. It's a real journey being a songwriter. And it brings you places you never would have imagined yourself being. Doing things you could only dream wildly of doing. And that's why I wrote the book. I wanted to share my stories with folks and also talk quite a bit about how I think songs really do have qualities in them that can help us. And they've certainly helped me. I'll think about the joy inside your laughter. I'll think about your hand inside mine. I'll think about the softness of your sweet skin as I try not to think about time. I'll think about my arms wrapped all around you. I'll think about the kindness in your eyes. I'll think about how you showed up on my doorstep when I was trying not to think about time. So many roads, so many towns between us, so many nights, so many stairs to climb, so many thoughts to think as I miss you. I try not to think about time. I'll think about your candlestick fingers on my skin. I'll think about the shiver in your side. I'll think about how much I wanna kiss you as I try not to think about time. So many roads, so many towns between us, so many nights, so many stairs to climb, so many thoughts to think as I miss you, and I try not to think about time. I will try not to think about time. Well, thank y'all. this song in a hotel room in Amsterdam a decade ago or so. It came from reading a New York Times obituary about a hobo. It was a headlined obituary that said, "Steam Train Maury Graham, king of the hobos, dead at age 89. I am a New York Times obituary reader because I like good stories. And to get yourself into a New York Times obituary, there are more requirements than just being dead. You had to have lived a good story. And for a hobo to get a New York Times obituary, that's pretty high cotton. Well, I wondered who made this man king of the hobos. How does that work? And it turns out that every summer, for over 100 years, hobos have gathered in a little town called Britt, Iowa. They still do. And they elect their king. As you can imagine, the pageantry is splendid. It's quite the show. Steam Train was elected king more times than any other man. He looked the part. He looked like Santa Claus the day after Christmas, actually. He was jolly and a little ragged. I wish I would have met him. I would have loved him, I know that. I wrote a song for him. Steam Train Maury died last night. His wife wandered by his side. He caught the westbound out of here, up the high irons to the by and by. They say he jumped 10,000 trains, rode 1,000,000 miles for free, helped out at VA hospitals and penitentiary. Dandy Dave and Rusty Nails and Sweet Lady Sugar Cane, Dead-Eye Kate and the Baloney Kid, raise a cup tonight in Steam Train's name. Senators and congressmen, puppets on a string. Among windswept vagabonds, Steam Train was the king. He was the last of the hobo kings. He was the last of the hobo kings. Now bums, they just drink and wander around. Tramps dream and wander too. But a hobo was a pioneer, and he preferred to work for food. He knew how the nation was doing by the length of a sidewalk cigarette butt. Born with an aching wanderlust embedded in his gut. Hounded, beaten, laughed at, broke, chased out of every town with his walking stick scepter, with his shredded coffee can crown. The last of the Hoboken's, the last of the Hoboken's. Last freemen are hobos. Steinbeck said and paid him cash. The stories he bought from them helped him write The Grapes of Wrath. But boxcars have been sealed for years, and trespassers do time. And railroad yards are razor wired. Now hoboing's a crime. So here's to you, steam train Maury. Hold that westbound tight as you ride off into history. The last hobo, the last ride, the last of the Hoboken's, the last of the Hoboken's. So where do songs come from? Hell, I don't know. I'm not sure, really. I learned how to write songs by writing songs. I quit high school, and I quit college. I didn't go to music school, and I don't like following directions. It's my nature to challenge authority, do things my own way. I call my stubbornness entrepreneurial. But I'm willing to listen if I'm given a choice. Deb, my beloved therapist of decades, found a workaround for me. When offering me a suggestion, she says, "Mary, I would like to invite you to consider." It works. So this book is a collection of stories, observations, and ideas that I'm inviting you, the reader, to consider. It's also a behind-the-curtain glimpse into my life and my songwriting process. But it's not a rule book. Even if I was interested in rules, and I'm not, I don't know of a single songwriting rule that can be universally applied. There are no absolutes in songwriting. No one holds a monopoly on how it should be done. Beyond reason and conscious thought, past my own story, behind firewalls of self-protection and fear sits a mysterious power that will turn a good song into a great song. I've sat for hours trying to figure out a song, hopelessly stuck. My best writing happens in a kind of trance. It's an exercise in faith and perseverance. I only know I've gotten there, in retrospect, when the words and melody do more than I imagined possible when I was putting them together. See, I'm not in charge of the flow. All I can do is show up, direct focused effort, and hope the mystery will assist me. The process is often about emptying my mind until I can access the state of consciousness where I am not writing, but where I am feeling and listening. Sometimes that state of consciousness eludes me completely, leaving me utterly frustrated. So I walk away. let it rest, maybe try again tomorrow. See, this is what it's like to be a songwriter. Honestly, it's a damn ordeal. As the great country songwriter Harlan Howard used to say, he writes the songs, I hold the pen. People ask me if I think songs can change the world. Well, my answer is yeah, absolutely, and here's how. A song can change the heart by creating empathy. A changed heart has the power to change a mind. And when a mind changes, a person changes. When people change, the world changes. One song, one heart, one mind, one person at a time. Songs can bring us a deeper understanding of each other and of ourselves. They can open our hearts to empathy and love. I believe songs that heal come from a higher place. They help us with the struggle of being human by letting us know we are not alone. This is the greatest gift a song can give a songwriter, and a songwriter can give the world. Bruce Springsteen said, music is a repair shop. Basically, I'm a repairman. I love that. Songs have the power to repair hearts and heal souls saved by a song. So, many of you know that I've had the great privilege of working with a nonprofit called Songwriting with Soldiers for many years now. I think I'm in my 8th year of doing this work. It's a nonprofit founded by my friend Darden Smith out of Austin, Texas. And what it does is it pairs professional songwriters with veterans, many of them wounded by war, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And what we do is we go to a retreat center and we sit down as songwriters and bear witness in non-judgment, listen to the veterans' story and turn their story into their song. It's an incredible process, utterly amazing. It continues to blow my mind. I am always amazed at the power of hearing your story sung back to you. Watching young men and women who hear their stories sung back to them for the first time, the wonder in their eyes, it's incredible for the songwriter. Generally, there's 3 songwriters at the retreat, 6 or 7 veterans. Sometimes they bring their spouses. Sometimes it's a couples retreat. I'm going to play a couple of songs off a record I put out of these songs that had built up in my collection over a 6-year process. And I put a record out called Rifles and Rosary Beads in 2018. And that record went on to be nominated for Grammy, which was fun. And it was a real thrill for me to call all the co-writers and tell them their story got nominated for a Grammy. That was an awfully good day in my life. So this first song from that record that I'm going to play y'all was written with a group of military spouses. Their husbands all served at different times in different branches, but what they had to tell me was that they thought they just had to get their sweetheart home in one piece and they could start their lives again after the tour of duty was over. No one told them that they need to be aware that there could be a war after the war. And when they said war after the war, I put that on the top of the page. That's a title if I ever heard one. And they told me they often feel invisible and they don't really know how to talk about this stuff, especially to civilians. And so this song has a lot of co-writers. I think it's 6 military spouses, myself, and the great Beth Nielsen Chapman, who was also in on that co-write. It goes like this. Who's gonna care for the ones who care for the ones who went to war? There's landmines in the living room, eggshells on the floor. Lost myself in the shadow of your honor and your pain. You stare out of the window as our dreams go down the drain. Invisible, the war after the war. I get no basic training, I get no Purple Heart. I am supposed to carry on, I can't fall apart. People look and thank you for the sacrifice you made. They look at me and smile, say I'm lucky, you're okay, invisible. The war after the war. But I'm a soldier too, just like you, serving something bigger than myself. I serve unseen, caught in between my pain and the pain of someone else. But I'm stronger than you think I am. I'm right here by your side. I am not your enemy. I don't wanna fight. There's no going back in time. I know you're not the same, but you are not the only one for whom the world has changed. Invisible. The war after the war. Invisible. The war after the war. So play another one from Rifles and Rosary Beads. If I get just a little bit more guitar up here, just a nudge, if you would. This one I wrote with retired Army Sergeant Joshua Gertz. Josh was in a Humvee that rolled over an improvised explosive device, and he suffered spinal injury and ended up in a wheelchair. And when I sat down to write with him, he was in a lot of pain, physically, mentally, spiritually. He had so much going on that it was kind of hard to follow where the song was. But after a little while of listening to him talk, what I realized was causing him the most pain wasn't his physical injury, but survivor's guilt. He kept saying, I shouldn't be here, and he shouldn't be gone. And I wrote that down, and he said, but there must be some reason I'm still on the ride. And so I put that at the top of the page. That sounded like a title to me. And what came to my mind was when I was a little girl, I was raised Catholic, and my mom would come in the room and we'd say a prayer at night, and it was to the guardian angels. And for some reason, a lot of Catholicism didn't stick. They tried, but a lot of it didn't take. It's kind of like Teflon. It rolled right the hell off of me. But the guardian angel part really penetrated, and I have a sense that I do have guardian angels. I feel that. There's been moments in my life when I've really felt their presence, when I needed them most. I just believe it. I guess it's just a faith thing for me. And so I said to Josh, hey, man, maybe the reason you're here is because your buddy is your guardian angel. What do you feel about guardian angels? And he said, I have no idea. I don't know. I said, well, it makes good sense that a good soldier would be the best guardian angel in spirit world. And he nodded and said, you know, let's go with it. And a couple of years later, he told me that moment he looked outside and saw there was 6 rocking chairs on the porch of the retreat center. He saw one of them start moving. He swears that's what happened. I believe him. And I know he saw it. It's a big moment. The song came together, and I think something else came together. It's hard to put it into words. The publisher calls it the redemptive power of song. I think that started to turn the story into something that had hope for him. We all need hope. But when you've incurred deep trauma, hope is hard to come by. And so songs can help you find that thread of hope. And Josh went on to ride his wheelchair 422 miles to raise awareness of the 22 soldiers we lose every day to suicide. He did 422 for the 22. And he raised quite a bit of money for songwriting with soldiers on that ride. And he went on to do physical therapy and slowly begin to walk with a cane. And now he's free of a cane and a chair. And that's the power of hope and some sort of miraculous thing with the guardian angel, I guess. But this is me and Josh's song. We got to play it at the Grand Ole Opry on the 90th anniversary of that fabled institution at the Ryman Auditorium, which is the best place to play the Opry. It's smaller than the Gaylord Opry House, but it has the haunted stage, which we felt that night. It was electrical. Josh plays harmonica, and he soared on this song at the 90th anniversary of the Grand Ole Opry. And somewhere there's a video of that. I don't know where to find it. Opry has it. They record all the shows. So maybe one day they'll let us get our hands on it. Who knows? It was magic for me and Josh, that's for sure. Looking back now, who the hell knows where the soul of a dead soldier goes? Guardian angels, maybe they're true. My guardian angel, maybe it's you. I shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be gone. But it's not up to me who dies and who carries on. I sit in my room and I close my eyes. Me and my guardian angel, we're still on the ride. I got holes in my eardrums, bruises and clots, double vision, and my stomach's in knots. I got pain in my fingers, I hurt from my head to my toes. I wake up feeling like I'm 90 years old. I shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be gone. But it's not up to me who dies and who carries on. I sit in my room, I close my eyes. Me and my guardian angel, we're still on the ride. You were my brother, more than a friend. You were family to me right up till the end. You're still with me now, I feel you, I know. You're pushing me forward and you'll never let go. I shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be gone. But it's not up to me who dies and who carries on. I sit in my room and I close my eyes. Me and my guardian angel were still on the ride. I shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be gone, but it's not up to me who dies or who carries on. I sit in my room, I close my eyes. Me and my guardian angel were still on the ride. Oh, me and my guardian angel were still on the ride. That was great. I love the way you sang that. That was awesome. Oh, thank y'all. Do one more from the Rifles record. This is a song that was written with a group of EOD wives. Each branch of the U.S. military has EOD, and EOD stands for Explosive Ordnance Disposal. And it's a really dangerous job. And these are the bomb experts. They're trained to dismantle live bombs and put them back together and take them apart. And they are always at high risk for being in an explosion. And as you can imagine, these marriages have an intensity to them that few of us have ever lived through. I couldn't imagine my partner, my spouse, every day going to work and handling live bombs designed to kill, sometimes nuclear. This is a group of wives who are extraordinary in every way, and I sat down with them and asked them, how do you do it? How do you go day to day like this? Sometimes their husbands are gone for months at a time and they don't even hear from them because the missions are top secret. And they're here at home raising little kids. And they say, well, here's how it's done, Mary. We do it together. EOD wives are very close. This sisterhood is strong, and it lasts a lifetime. We are stronger together. That's how we do it. And turns out my brother-in-law, who lives here in Houston, in fact, he was here last night, his dad was an EOD diver. In the Vietnam era, he was a Marine and EOD diver, and he passed away at 39. He had a heart attack, and his widow, my brother-in-law's mother, is now in her mid-80s and never remarried and still goes to EOD wives retreats. Turns out that sisterhood thing really, even generations prior, are very, very close. This is something I've learned so much working with songwriting with soldiers, and I continue to do the work. I'm going to a retreat in 3 weeks,
Yeah,
2 weeks,
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah, we'll do a EOD couples retreat outside of Washington D.C. At a place called Boulder Crest, founded by a retired EOD bomb expert who works specifically and particularly with the bomb guys. The bomb guys are something else. I love them so much. Anyway, the bomb wives are something else too. And the bomb guys' wives, this is their song. I call it the EOD Wives song, and it's called Stronger Together. They say no man's left behind, but that ain't true. And they hate it that they need us, but they do. Oh, they lose their fingers, lose their limbs. We try to love them back together again. They say no man's left behind, but that ain't true. And they're hurt in places that the eye can't see. We miss the men our husbands used to be. The military breaks their heart. We're there when they fall apart. They're hurt in places that the eye can't see. And we're stronger together. together, sisters, forever. We are stronger together, sisters, forever. And we focus on the good, that's all we've got. It don't look like much, but we know it's a lot. Every time he says goodbye could be the last time we see him alive. We focus on the good, that's all we've got. EOD wives don't sit by the phone. No news, it's good news back at home. When he's mission ready at his best, we take care of all the rest. EOD wives don't sit by the phone. And we're stronger together, sisters, forever. We are stronger together, sisters, forever. Whoa, let's see here. You know what? I think I'd like to change channels for a second and have Jaimee play a song. Would you mind playing a song? I don't. Anything you feel like playing. I'd love to have them hear your songs, or at least a song tonight, because it's a special time. Jaimee's mastering her second record this week in Austin. She made it at Congress Studios with Mark Harmon, and we sequenced it partially on the drive from Austin day before yesterday. Was it, or was it yesterday?
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, time gets all messed up on the road. It was yesterday, feels like 2 weeks ago. But we did, I think, sequence the first 5 tracks. That feels right, which means we've got the order, because you have to build the record. After you've cut all the songs, you got to figure out the order of the songs, and it has to, I think, tell a story. And this record is so good that she's just made, and I'm real excited about it coming out into the world. I'd love for you to play something new from that record.
Great, that's what I'll do then. It really helped narrow it down to at least 11 songs to choose from. I'll actually play this one that Mary and I put together during the pandemic. You know, every songwriter was different. Some artists wrote entire records. Some artists didn't write at all. And I felt a little bit closer to the didn't write at all category. I actually spent a lot of time editing. I found it really a difficult time to write, personally. But it did give me time to sit and think about some things that I guess in more depth than I had before. And I'm actually from Texas. I live in Nashville now, but I grew up in Waco. And when I was in 6th grade, there was a kid in our class named Devin Lujan who was shot and killed. And I've never stopped really thinking about him, but for some reason during the pandemic, I sat down and I Googled him. I don't know exactly what compelled me to do that, but I did, and I spent a lot of time reading these posts his mother has put up in the Waco Trib, which is the local paper there, which of course has an online version. And every birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, major holiday, Easter, she's posted something in honor of him, in memory of him. And I guess what really hit my heart was she posted something on graduation day, which was also my graduation day. And it should have been his graduation day. So this is a song that'll be on the record that we worked on together. I'm standing at the screen door, looking out at where you used to play. My baby, you'd be all grown up now. This should be your graduation day. A million tears I have cried. If love alone could save you, never would have died. If tears could build a ladder tall, surely I've built thousands, but all they do is fall. Your friends are in the auditorium. You should be with them in your cap and gown. We should be packing you up for college, 'cause you had big dreams, far bigger than this town. A million tears we have cried. If love alone could save you, never would have died. If tears could build a ladder tall, surely we built thousands, but all they do is fall. That morning when you left us, we had no time to say goodbye. Our hearts are forever broken. Lord, please kiss him, hold our angel tight. A million tears we have cried. If love alone could save you, never would have died. If tears could build a ladder tall, surely we've built thousands, but all they do is fall. Surely we've built thousands, but all they do is fall. Thank you. Thanks, Mary.
Oh, so sad. Whew.
It's really sad if MaryGauthierSongs says it's so sad.
So the book is broken up into 13 chapters, and it's 13 songs. The song leads off each chapter. 11 of the songs are mine, 2 are not. One is wrapped around the John Lennon song, Mother. If you're of a certain age, you certainly know that song. It was on the radio, and it was a very unlikely hit. It was on the first record he released as a solo artist after the Beatles, John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. I love the song so much, and it was, I think, an invitation to me to go into some of the causes of my own troubles. I start the book by being arrested for drunk driving, and I got sober after that. That was July 13th, 1990. So yeah, 31 years sober now. For a lot of us, when we get sober, we end up having to confront the causes of our addiction. What created the problem and the pain that we were trying to medicate. I found at almost 2 decades sober, I was still struggling. And this song was like a key in the door for me. I played a radio show in London and talked about some of the struggle I had trying to tell the story of my early childhood. I was born to an unmarried mother in 1962 and put up for adoption. And I spent my first year in an orphanage in New Orleans on Magazine Street called St. Vincent's Women and Infants Asylum. And that year of unmotheredness affected me greatly, and I didn't know that or understand it. I couldn't make sense of, there was no words, it was pre-verbal, and I have had to work through it. That's why my beloved therapist of decades, that's why it's decades to try to find the words and make sense of what happened. Something happens that's incredibly powerful when you're able to tell your story. You got to put it together, but to tell it, you become the storyteller. And there's agency in that, and there's power in that. And until such time, you just are the story. And there's a lack of power in being the story, and there's good power in telling the story. And I think that's actually the power of Oprah Winfrey. She's taught us to tell the story. It's a transformative thing. And so it's worked beautifully in my own life, and it's working beautifully for so many of the veterans that we work with to tell their trauma story. And song gives them agency that was desperately needed prior to that storytelling. So John Lennon's mother is the song mother, is John telling his early childhood story. It's a true story. So he worked with a therapist he made very famous at the time. If you're a fan and go back to the early 70s, you'll remember he worked with a therapist named Arthur Janov. And Janov was made famous by John Lennon for this thing called primal scream therapy, to scream it out. You might recall it. He got a lot of ink back then. Janov said John's level of pain was enormous. He was almost completely non-functional. He couldn't leave the house. He could hardly leave his room. This was someone the whole world adored, and it didn't change a thing. At the center of all that fame and wealth and adulation was just a lonely, traumatized kid. So determined to confront and free himself from childhood trauma, Lennon's debut solo album featured a number of self-revelatory songs inspired by his work with Janov. Mother was released as the first single. So the DJ at the radio station in London said, "Hey, I'm going to give you a present. I've got the outtakes of Mother." And he slid me a CD with 6 outtakes of John and the band recording this song. It was just revelatory to me. When they nailed it, it was just heads and shoulders above the other takes. This led me down a whole new road in my own recovery and songwriting. Mother was released as the first single, an unlikely revolutionary single if there ever was one. This song contains so much pain, it's hard to hear. The desperation and primal hurt in Lennon's vocals unnerved his fans. Add to that the song's stark lyrics and series of feral screams and shrieks on the song's coda, and fans were left wondering, why in the world would John Lennon put such a terrifying song out into the world? Not me. I got it. I understood why he wrote this song and sang it the way he sang it. And I loved him so much for it. He did it as an expression of loyalty to his own life force. The act of making music as resistance, as opposition to pain. He did it because he had to. He did it because making art from one's truth keeps an artist's soul alive. Listening to John Lennon sing Mother showed me the problem I was dealing with was not unique to me. Maternal abandonment leaves a scar. To survive it is to be shaped by it or misshapen by it. The wound haunts you. It embeds in your shadow, your breath, your blood, your nightmares, and your dreams. I was learning this truth in my late 40s. John learned it in his mid-30s. The effects of relinquishment can be repressed, but they cannot be outrun. And so the hope and the longing is to write your way through it to the other side. And I think that's what is so instructive about what John did. There is a capturing of the story and then a sort of letting go of it. You find the words, you find the music, and then you inflict it on an audience, and then it's released. It's released. And then you guys have to deal with it. I call it a mystical process. It's definitely a redemptive process, and it certainly has a mystery to it that I can't fully articulate in a book. But I can tell stories that point to it, and I think you guys will understand it by the stories. Teaching through story is a powerful thing. So I'm going to change channels here and talk about the last 14 months. We have suffered so much grief and loss. It's just been a really difficult time for all of us. It started for us when my friend David Olney had a heart attack on stage in January of 2020. He passed away at a festival we were playing. He's one of the great American songwriters. And we were at this 30A Songwriters Festival, and he had a heart attack and passed. And it just took the wind out of my sails. And then by March, COVID was everywhere, and we lost John Prine, who was both a hero and a friend. And the losses have continued since then, and they're still coming. So as a songwriter, what Jaimee and I do is write about these things. And this is a song we wrote this November, late November, when we were grieving a friend of mine who passed away, a hiking buddy that I hiked the trails outside of Nashville for decades with, and she suddenly passed. And we went to her service and then wrote this song. It's called "How Could You Be Gone." Jaimee's gonna sing it because she sings it so extraordinarily well.
I keep staring at the clock, stumbling around the house in shock. I don't know what I feel, can't believe that this is real. I don't know what to wear, I don't know who will be there. Wanna call you, I wanna cry, I don't wanna say goodbye. Turn the key, make the drive. I park and watch the cars arrive. Friends I never knew you had. It's moving slow, it's moving fast. I walk by your photograph. I hear your voice, I hear your laugh. Everybody's dressed in Could you be gone? And could you be gone? Sitting in a plastic chair, the preacher's words hang in the air. Cross of roses, pink and white, sideshow pictures of your life. Children run across the lawn, they don't understand you're gone. I'm looking for you in the crowd, I'm looking for you in the clouds. How could you be could you be gone? We all hang our heads to pray. The preacher tells us what to say. I don't know what I believe, I just know I have to leave. I walk alone back to my car, I go before the goodbye start. I have always been this way, you were the only one who can make me stay. How could you be gone? How could you be gone? Could you be gone?
to hold you in the hollow of her hand. May a soft wind enfold you as you travel distant lands. May the moon and stars delight you as the daylight dims. Till the morning sun warms your face, till I see you again. May you lay down your struggle beneath a silver sky. May a summer rain inside your dream sing a lullaby. May there be no more sorrow, no more pain. May you sleep inside the stillness of the night till I see you again. Never be a stranger. May you never feel alone. May you reunite with family and friends. May they walk you home. May love embrace you in a dance that never ends. May you rest in gentle arms till I see you again. May you rest in gentle arms till I see you again. Thank y'all. One more time for Jaimee Harris. Thank you.